I'm very grateful for Rosemary Bell coming along to talk a little bit about some welfare rights issues. And again, many of you may have well met Rosemary, and she's been round the corner there. But over to you, Rosemary.
Thank you. I'm Rosemary Bell. I'm a Senior Welfare Rights Officer with Newcastle City Council, and I've been giving some advice to mitochondrial patients for about the past couple of years. There are actually over 40 different state benefits that you may be entitled to, as well as a host of other services that can be provided by adult services, which is formerly known as social services. But today I'm going to concentrate on the two main benefits that you might be entitled to. It's disability living allowance and attendance allowance. Now, people often get confused about the two benefits and think that they can get both. You can't, I'm afraid. It's either or. Disability living allowance has got two components, the care component and the mobility component. The care component, nothing is straightforward in the field of welfare rights, has 3 different rates, and the mobility component has 2 different rates. You get disability living allowance if you make your first claim under 65. Then you have attendance allowance. Attendance allowance only has 2 rates which represent the care element, and there's no mobility component. So if you want to get help with your mobility costs, you've got to claim before the age of 65. Unfortunately, if you like, it's a form of rationing. Most people, when they're in the 70s or 80s, have some mobility problems, and the fact that they can't claim mobility allowance then means that otherwise everybody might well be entitled to it. Okay, care needs. I'll move back here because I can't actually see the screen there. It's the care needs, it's the help that is reasonably required with personal care. Now notice I say personal care, it's nothing to do with housework or shopping. It's your personal care. So it's doing things like getting in and out of bed. It's doing things like getting in and out of the bath. It's help if you have hearing or sight problem, and that obviously is going to affect quite a lot of you. And also help if you suffer from falls. And when we're talking about the help that you need getting in and out of bed, if you struggle to get into a sitting position, and then you have to hold on to something when you first stand up, and then you have to hold yourself for a while to make sure that you've got your balance, that's help with getting in and out of bed. You can get disability living allowance even if you live by yourself, because it's the help that you reasonably require, not that you actually get. So don't be put off by thinking, well, I don't have a carer living with me, I live by myself. You can still make the claim for the benefit because it's the help you reasonably require. There's also supervision to avoid substantial danger to yourself or others. And again, I was thinking of this when Sue was talking. She was talking about people having problems with swallowing, with choking when they're taking food. So you might have to have someone with you in case you have falls, or in case you might have a problem with choking, or you might need someone there because your eyesight's deteriorating. So it's either physical care or it's supervision. Now there's 3 rates of the care component. There's the higher rate, which is £70.35. So we're talking real money here. We're not talking about, you know, a couple of pounds a week. We're talking £70 for the higher rate of the care component. And that's when you need help or supervision for both day and night. So again, if you're getting up during the night to get to the toilet and you've had falls in the past, you're probably going to qualify for the higher rate because you've got those day and nighttime care needs. And the higher rate is also similar to the higher rate of attendance allowance. So again, it's higher rate because you need help day and night. Middle rate is £47.10, and that's if you need help either day or night. And the lower rate is £18.65, and that's if you need help to prepare a main cooked meal. So for instance, you know, if you're not too bad but you've got some problems with your hands, you can't peel or chop vegetables, you might well qualify for the lower rate. Or if you just need help for a small part of the day, you just need help perhaps having a shower in the morning, but you're okay for the rest of the time by yourself. So that's the 3 rates of disability living allowance. And as I say, the higher and the middle equate to the same levels of attendance allowance. The mobility component, there are 2 rates. The higher rate is £49.60, and that's for people who are unable or virtually unable to walk without severe discomfort. And in DWP terms, that means you can't walk more than about 30 yards. But note there where it says severe discomfort. So if your walking is very bad, if you drag a leg, if you've got a limp, or if you suffer from extreme fatigue, you might say, well, I could walk 30 yards, but I'd be shattered for the rest of the day. Or I could walk 30 yards, but I take that long to walk, then you should be entitled to the higher rate. The lower rate is £18.65, and that's if you can walk okay, but you need to have someone with you. And again, that may well be because you're having frequent falls. So that's the mobility component of disability living allowance. And just to say, just because you see someone who's got a blue badge, that doesn't mean they've necessarily got the mobility component. Getting a blue badge is one of the advantages of having the DLA mobility. It's a good thing to have. The other thing you get as well, if you've got disability living allowance, high rate mobility, is you get your road tax free as well. And this is all the knock-on advantages to getting these benefits. Just a word about children under 16. For the care component, they can't get the lower rate for the main cooked meal test, which is obvious. You don't have many 16-year-olds making meals for themselves. And the care needs have to be substantially in excess of a normal child of the same age. The mobility component, you can't get the higher rate of the mobility component until the child reaches 3. And again, that's because a lot of up to 3-year-olds would be using buggies, etc. So they say you've got to claim that at the age of 3. And you can't get the lower rate, which is help or supervision out of doors, until the child is 5. So why claim? Well, first of all, it's not means tested. It doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank, how much money you've got coming in. It's not means tested. It's there for you and for you to take advantage of to help contribute to what we were hearing about before, the quality of life. You might need it to take taxis. You might need it to pay someone to come and, to sit with you or sit with someone to let you get out for a few hours. So again, it's important to claim. It's money there for you. It's not taxable, so again, you're not going to have any problems with the inland revenue for it. It's paid on top of all other benefits. It doesn't overlap with all other benefits, so if you get it, it's paid on top of everything else you're getting. And it can entitle you to additional amounts on other means-tested benefits. So again, if you're getting any income support or pension credit, if you get disability living allowance or attendance allowance, you might well get extra money on those means-tested benefits, housing benefit, council tax benefit. So again, if you've had an award and just never checked to see if you should be claiming extra on your means-tested benefit, get a benefit check. And also, you don't have to account for what you spend the money on. I mean, very often we have clients and we help them get a